Greetings, wise ones. This is Melissa of 8th House Wisdom, author, psychotherapist, astrologer, feminine energy and stellar planning expert. I am here with the video about Scorpio season healing crystals and to talk about the last quarter moon in Leo and closing the eclipse portal. If you're interested in learning more about all of those topics and what to do energetically to make the best of this time, stay tuned for the rest of the video. Well, I need to say, thank Goddess that we have made it to the other side of these incredibly powerful fall eclipses during Scorpio season. We are now in the final week of the waning or dimming phase of the moon, the beaver moon, for 2022, also known as the cold frost moon. And we really need to stop and take stock as we run out these last week, this last week of eclipse season, and are finally able to start integrating the information that we've received during this time. In the lead up to all that is going on around this last quarter moon, we have the emergence of, on the same day, Venus moving into Sagittarius and out of Scorpio, where astrologers indicate that Venus is in its detriment because Venus is light and superficial and Scorpio is intense and penetrating. We are also still in the middle of Mars and its intense energy, the traditional ruler of Scorpio, moving through its retrograde phase in the sign of Gemini, and Pisces is being activated by both Neptune and Jupiter, who are posted up there, and Jupiter will be there in retrograde motion at least till November 23rd. And actually, this coming Saturday, which is, to check and be correct, I believe that's the 18th or the 19th of November, we will be experiencing a meetup between Mars, the warrior, that is the 19th, Mars, the warrior, and Neptune with its lovely, dreamy, imaginative head in the clouds, which may mean we are up for an emotional battle. That'll definitely have some dramatic fireworks to it. And the last time we had those two planets come in contact with each other was around October 12th. I really want us, as we close out Scorpio season and move into the faith and hope of Sagittarius season, to now start thinking about ways that we can work both physically and energetically using crystals to ground the very intense energy that we have been picking up during this eclipse cycle. Remembering or noting that Scorpio is a fixed authority sign, we're firmly rooted in shadow season of feminine energy space. And so we are really having a mashup right now with Scorpio season and this last quarter moon as we usher out this energy of fire and water coming together. This is a good metaphor for moving through with some of the crystal recommendations that I have for Scorpio season and the added impetus to look at these crystals both in their known color form, but also if the crystal comes in a black form, highlighting its use even into the initial portions of Sagittarius season, because we're going to have a lot of energetic bleed through due to Scorpio season being marked by the shadows, by the eclipse, and intense energy. As we talked about before, the imprint happens energetically for eclipses almost 6 weeks before. And those who are really sensitive to energy might have felt it earlier, which ultimately means that we will be stacking sets of issues, especially when it comes to releasing. So, all these crystal recommendations that I make for zodiac seasons are wonderful during this particular period of time, but they're also important to think about each time the moon moves back into that sign each month. They're also important to think about if in your stellar planning or lunar wisdom formula process a particular sign is lit up or being activated in your chart, because using those crystals will be able to help you to better integrate the energy. So, having said that, I want to talk about Scorpio healing crystals, of course, and the three that I've selected to talk about are labradorite, which really helps Scorpio or Scorpio energy connect with higher worlds and move beyond your awareness and follow your intuition. So I think about them really kind of as a wayfinder through this shadowy energy when we're used to using our eyes, but we're called on to use our other senses. Beryl, and in particular, I want to focus on black beryl. Beryl is a stone that aids in tuning again into higher guidance and helping you make wiser decisions. It helps with bravery and helps you to block out distractions. Beryl can come in aquamarine and blue colors. I highly recommend getting a black beryl stone to work with during shadow periods of the year and with the shadow aspects of your chart, because going to color theory, black is the absence of color. Black is absorbing like a vacuum. That's why it's known as feminine energy. And during the waning phase of the moon and during Scorpio season, which is a waning kind of energy, you need things that will absorb residual energy in order to stay in your body, stay present with what you've learned, and integrate that. The last stone that I want to focus on is moonstone. Um, the moonstone definitely evokes the watery energy that Scorpio is. And this is fixed water. So this is water that some people may think about as water in its solid state of ice. And I certainly have been referred to as an ice princess or queen before. Um, that is scorpionic energy, and the moon controls the tides, and we human beings are 70% water. Most people know moonstone in its bright, shiny, light, kind of opalescent form. I also want to encourage us to look at black moonstone as a way of working with spiritual reconnection, self discovery, and helping you create room for expansion. And again, evoking all of those properties of black only enhance moonstone's ability to do that. Potentially working with both colors to work with the visible and the unseen pieces that show up from the eighth house are a great use or great idea when it comes to working with energy and working with crystals. We need to remind ourselves, especially since the beaver moon was in the earthly sign of Taurus, that we want to utilize pieces of Mother Earth, including plants and crystals, to help us to ground powerful energetic periods. Otherwise, this energy gets trapped in your nervous system and can lead to a heightened, potentially contrasting or negative experience just because we haven't prepared the container. And we don't invite a guest to come to our house and don't make up a bed or blow up an air mattress. I look at that similarly when we are in the impact range of powerful energies, but we've not set the table to prep ourselves for what that impact may be. So, working with black and white is a great metaphor right now for dealing with the intense scorpionic energy. And that leads us into thinking about how the last quarter moon in Leo is really going to help and aid us in this process of releasing and letting go. Because the last quarter moon is an anchoring phase of of the waning phase of the moon, when the light is growing dimmer. And as we are approaching dark of the moon, which is essentially 1 to 3 days before the new moon, when there is literally no light being reflected on Luna in the sky and you cannot see the moon anywhere. She's not hiding like she may tend to do because she moves around the zodiac, and so she moves position in the sky. There is no light, right? The eclipses have activated us both at the new moon and the full moon. So now it's time for us to shift into that feminine energy signature and to really kind of drop into that space where we embody what happens with the last quarter moon. We get organized, we refocus, we complete, we tie up loose ends. If I had $1 for all the times I've heard people say that they have been feeling tired since the November 8th lunar eclipse. And they're like, I'm so tired and I don't know why. You got a full moon hangover and we're in the dimming phase of light. You're going to feel tired. So that means allowing yourself to get plenty of rest, not giving yourself the blues when you want to go to bed early or take a nap. And it involves opening your hands so that you can and do release to call things in. So as we look at this card, that is the last quarter moon in Leo, it indicates that it's a time for us to lighten up. In particular, this excerpt from Yasmin Boland's Moonology Manifestation Oracle Guide Cards Guidebook says what's happening for you right now can turn out well, but you need to find a balance between the light and the dark of the situation. Get in touch with lighter and happier feelings to clear away any energetic debris that has grown out of your fears. That said, this isn't about glossing over any dramas and pretending all is well if it isn't. A positive attitude towards life now will help clear up any upsets. And that is honestly true. I mean, the shadow side does bring up a lot that we normally process as being negative. But if we can do the job of switching our language to more neutral language, where when something shows up that was unexpected or undesirable, instead of saying it's good or bad, we activate the occult law of indifference and say that's interesting, then we can really better ground the energy that's been coming off of us from the eclipse. We're not piling on additional energy one way or the other, good or bad, pro or con, and we help the energy that's already shown up more quickly dissipate. Also, this last quarter moon in Leo is a mashup of the Leo sun and the sun's focus on the ego with the Scorpio shadow side of Mars wanting to fight and run energy, and Pluto kind of focus on the underworld and dramatics and the hidden and the unseen. In addition to the healing stones for Scorpio season, Yasmin Boland recommends the use of sunstone, carnelian, citrine, rose quartz, aventurine, or Dalmatian jasper, a number of stones that overlap with the recommendations that I have for Leo season as a way of balancing this energy and being able to be in the best space to manifest. Remember that the goal here is forgiving yourself and setting yourself free. You need open hands to release and to receive. So they both fall in the same category and they both have a re prefix. We are not always known for gracefully releasing and receiving as human beings, especially not in these modern times, but it's the best thing that we can do for ourselves. So I'd like to encourage you all to really think about this and think about that this particular metaphor for the two immediate benefits that come up. You know, we create a vacuum with which to receive, and our hands are open to grasp whatever is coming in. That's the energetic space that you need to be in to close out the eclipse portal in a good way, and to be able to start integrating what showed up in your life in the weeks ahead, as we have a 6-month reprieve before next spring when we activate the final eclipses in this series. So, having said that, I really want everybody to think about this mashup of solar and lunar power in the last quarter moon. I want you to really focus on the power of releasing, and know that in doing that, you are going to be making your wildest dreams come true by setting the table for their arrival. We've been talking all about crystals and the last quarter moon, and I hope that you got something of great value or something new to apply to your practice, and especially when applying it with using the lunar wisdom formula, because it's not only about the lunar sign, but it's also about the lunar phase and getting into flow with our actions as it relates to that. If you would like to grab any of the crystals that I talked about in this video, head over to the website listed in the description to check out the amazing deals that Spirit Magica has for high quality, ethically sourced crystals, and make sure that you use my coupon code 8th House Wisdom so that you get the 11% off discount. Next, make sure that you head over to my website and grab a free copy of your birth chart if you don't already have it, because that is absolutely necessary to apply the lunar wisdom formula to your own chart and to know specifically what aspect of life and what area of your chart will be lit up when I make new videos. And last but not least, check out my DIY book, The Lunar Wisdom Formula, which is a great guide for manifestation, and the 2023 addendum will be coming out December 1st, so that everybody has all their lunar cycles and additional pieces of astrological information available before the new year ends. And if you purchase anytime after that, you'll be one of the first people to get it. I do this work because I love navigating by the stars, because I'm a Scorpio and I usually operate with my eyes closed. People who know me will tell you that. And that really has helped me to be able to tap into the wisdom in my chart when I don't know where to go and my eyes are deceiving me, because our chart is powerful. Life comes with an instruction manual. It's written in the stars. If you are interested in taking a look at what 2023 holds for you, I would love to guide you into the next year with more ease and grace. Be on the lookout for updates about Stellar Blueprint 2023 and about the limited series of readings, both astrological and tarot, that I will be doing for some wonderful customers who want to start this next year off with a bang. Until next time, wise ones, sending you lots of light and love. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you soon. Take care.